Do you love cake? According to Feast to Fed, cake pops were developed as a variation of cake balls by Taure'lle. Before getting into things, we will watch a short video clip.
You know, I'm not a professional baker and I don't have any formal training, but I love sweets and I love trying new things. On a whim, a few years ago, I took a beginning cake decorating class. I learned the basics and was inspired to keep baking without being so intimidated. It's only sugar. Even mistakes can be sweet. I was so excited about baking and decorating that I started a blog to chronicle my adventures. I'd been introduced to cake balls a few years earlier and they had become one of my favorite things to make. So not long after starting the blog, I got the idea to put them on a stick. Because everything's cuter on a stick, and that's when cake pops were born.
Okay, in my video is to inform you all on how to make cake pops. First, we will cover the preparation of the cake pops. Next, we will talk about the steps. And last, we will examine the preparation, also known as the appearance of your cake pops. Okay, here we have the preparation. These are some things that you might need while baking your cake pops. According to Go in 2017, you should try to avoid using a cake mix with oil listed in the ingredients because it will give you a more moist coating and it will kind of make it hard for your cake balls to roll in the end. So you have the cake scooper, the pan, the mixing bowl, your oil, and this is what you wrap your cake pops in once you finish, and your tie, and candy melts, lollipop sticks, your frosting, and this is your cake mix, which Glenn was talking about that I just stated. Okay, now that we have talked about your ingredients and your tools, we will move into examining the steps. This is your first step. As Duran states, you should not freeze your cake pops because it will give you a more whipped coating. So before starting, you preheat your oven and you follow the cake instructions on the back of your box, and then before moving to the next step, you should let your cake completely cool. This is step 2. Cut your cake into 4 sections. After cutting it into 4 sections, you take 2 pieces and you can rub them together, and that will start your crumbling process. And after you crumble the first 2 pieces, then you take the next 2 and continue that same step. Okay, and after that, you add your frosting to the cake mix and mix it together in your mixing bowl until it comes to a consistency that you like. After mixing the frosting, you take your cake scooper and put your cake into the cake scooper, and you scoop it and you start to roll, and this will form your cake balls. And that was the last step. And again, Duran states that you should not freeze them. So after scooping and rolling, you should just lay them on your wax paper and start your next process. Okay, according to the statements from the co-owners of the cake pop business, this is where we will get into the presentation, also known as your appearance of your cake pops. Some people decorate them in several different ways. You can use edible glitter, sprinkles, or some people just use candy melts and it gives you a colorization. So this is your candy melts, and for your candy melts, you just put them into a microwavable safe bowl and melt them until it's very smooth and you have no lumps, and it's at a consistency where you can just roll your cake ball in the candy melt, and then it will look like this. So once you're at this point, that's when you begin to stick your sticks in the cake balls and turn it upside down to make sure that it's not going to fall, and you just let them sit. After putting your sticks into the cake balls, which is right here, this is when you move to the decorating process. When I do cake pops, I usually just use candy melts. I don't really put sprinkles on there. I just do different colored candy melts. But some people like to go a little more out and use sprinkles or edible glitter. According to the statements from the co-owners, they are trying to get into the business of not just using candy melts, but also sprinkles and more things. and getting out of stereotypical gifts. So you can use cake pops for weddings, baby showers, things like that, different events. And also some people are starting to use them for weddings as like for bouquets or souvenir gifts for coming to a wedding. So that is your presentation of your cake pops. And in closing, I have spent the last few minutes informing you on how to bake cake pops. All you need for cake pops are patience, tools, and ingredients. However, if you're in for a quick treat, you may want to visit the bakery, but nothing beats a homemade cake pop.